It has nothing to do with nothing. And the reason why I say it has nothing to do with nothing is because our folks have a whole lot of talent and skill. The biggest problem is not so much finances. Our folks, they squander the finances all day long. The biggest problem is the harnessing of all the talent and skills that our folks have. Get past all the ego, get past all the selfishness, and all the other crap that goes to that lower self mindset that we all have within us. We fix that situation and we begin to harness those talents and skills and put them into good use. Oh, things change rather quickly, very quickly. What you're looking at right now is the residue of the drama. And the drama here that I'm talking about is our folks do not appropriately channel their energies. Plain and simple. And we could do a whole lot better than we do. It's a matter of choices that folks make. And those choices are made based upon the information that they have. And the information is lacking. Folks have a predisposition on a whole lot of things and make assumptions and presumptions based on what their particular habits and patterns are. Now, you get them to move beyond their basic patterns and habits, well, we get a good shot at a wide variety of things in terms of uplifting of our folks one at a time. But you're going to be looking at a whole lot of stuff that has to be worked on. And once we get there, listen, this planet is in a world of hurt in terms of um, uh, how we proceed to do things as a general rule on this planet. Our folks have basically across the planet fed into consumerism. They fed into the lower self greed and things of this nature that calls for engagement in a wide variety of things that are not environmentally sound. And you gotta be able to sustain water, food, and if you don't think logically and reasonably, if you just go with the flow of someone else's system that's been placed upon you at gunpoint, well, that makes you a default benefactor whether you want to acknowledge it or not. And so the result is our folks have lost their way. We have lost the cohesion that we once had. And this stuff, it took a while to come down like that. And there's no one that's immune to this thinking and behavior. We've all engaged in it at one point or another, so I'm going to be all-inclusive when I make these particular statements. But I also recognize that there is a way out of it, and that all of us have to decide to make moves to walk our way out of that situation. I will say that at least on my watch, the Amexem-Moor-Empire is further along that continuum than most because I make an active effort, a conscious effort to move us down that particular path. It's incremental and it's one step at a time, and it is a fact that um, we are working to speed up that particular process. Where other folks are in that equation, where the other houses of Moors are in that equation, well, that remains to be seen for some of them, and for others, they make it blatant as to where they are. They have taken the poison and they love it. Cold a little bit, that might be true, but the fact of the matter is, what I'm speaking here is truth. And if you look at the evidence, you can't question, doubt, nor dispute what I'm saying. What I would like to see us do is come together and be responsible. Uh, all the various houses. And it's one thing to see the various houses begin to talk to one another. And I'm happy to say that on occasion that has been the case as of late. Um, but it's another thing when they merely go beyond basically circling one another and looking each other over and whatnot and not doing anything. The time has come to figure out, well, all right, we've already been down that road enough. Let's catalog the talents and skills of the various houses and figure out how to harness all that talent and skill. And honestly, the time is running out on some of those houses to get it right the first time. And the reason why I make the statement is because parties are tired of the dogma and the rhetoric. And if your folks are not being led in a good direction, they'll feel it and they'll see it and they'll let you know. And it's going to be one of two things they're going to end up doing. Either you change course or they're going to step off from you. And when they step off from you, well, your house gets weakened. And when they step off from you, believe me, in the information age, they will have done their research or they're doing their research. They'll step off from you because they're looking for viable options and solutions. Either you present it or they'll go to those that do. And all I'm saying is those that do provide a viable option and viable solution need to be walking away from the things that got us into a world of hurt on this planet. It's not just about dogma and rhetoric. You gotta go beyond that. You have to move forward and put things in place that provide our folks institutions that are on sound footing. And I'm talking about environmentally, socially, economically, and all sciences and spheres of influence need to be in that mindset. That's truly using love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice in your approach. And either you're gonna do that or you're not. And folks gotta decide because I'll tell you right now, the masses are waking up, and the games that folks is running not gonna keep. So I would like very much to see all the houses come together and again sit down and say, all right, within our sphere of influence, these are the talents and skills that we have. Well, over here within the Amexem-Moor-Empire, these are our talents and skills that we have. All right, and from there we can pretty much map out what the priorities are in terms of what we need to straighten out so that our collective on this planet, uh, of all the houses coming together forming a master collective, can determine uh, what's in our best interest to make sure that food, clothing, and shelter under our own aegis, under our own auspices, is a certain force as opposed to something that we are hoping to achieve. Well, that's what I think is most appropriate. And I would like to see this happen sooner rather than later. But time will tell. Everything gets borne out eventually. And I hope that the next time I see you, we'll be able to have a better discourse in terms of this. Well, I'll be able to say to you, no longer is it theory, it's now actually operational underway, and that everyone's going to benefit as a result.